Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing audio 1 2 1 2. Good morning, President Lugo. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2.
We have audio.
Good morning. Come on in. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Yes, I hope everyone enjoys what, for the time being, will be the last day of Charlotte summer. I think we're about to have a 30-degree weather shift for tomorrow. So those of you that are fall enthusiasts like me, woo! Fall is coming. Great to welcome a number of new folks to the community. I hope you were paying attention to the rotating slides. If you are new, could I trouble you to stand up so we can point y'all out in mass? Welcome to the Queens community, and welcome to a place that we hope you will be able to do your best work, and we're so excited to support you in being here. Also going to make a little bit of a more pointed call out for a new senior leadership team member, Lorianne Summers, who joined our team about a month ago as our new Vice President for University Advancement. Lorianne, are you here or are you on the road asking someone for money? Which would be the latter. This is exactly what we love to hear. So Lorianne has hit the ground running, and we really are excited for all the things that she will bring to our community. She joins us after being the Vice President for Advancement at Newberry College and has worked at the University of South Carolina, Auburn University, University of Minnesota, Colorado College, so lots of really, really cool places. I saw Jeff nodding on the Auburn part. He's like, yeah. That means good things. And there's been some fundraising going on, and I want to thank all the folks in the audience and the community that helped our Investing in Champions push that had an incredible successful fundraising job to support Queens athletics. This result of raising $363,000 represents a 164% increase versus the last record. And we also had 2,298 donors support Investing in Champions, which was a 117% increase over our previous record of 1,057. So great job to our athletics community, the advancement community that supports that, and for everyone that chipped in to do that. It has been a really busy semester so far, and some of the highlights for me were some of the speakers that we've had in this environment here on the lower left. The panel that we had with the world-renowned soprano Renee Fleming was just stellar, featuring what we've known for a long time with our music therapy program, as music is a true medicinal intervention for folks in treatment centers and hospitals. It was great to have Schmoozapalooza out on the terrace. Yep, there you go, Schmooza. It was great to welcome new United World College Scholars students in our Davis UWC partnership as well. And then just on Thursday night, we had the incredible Pulitzer Prize winning author Isabel Wilkerson on the stage for our Learning Society. So huge hat tip and congrats to our conference and events folks. Everything that pulled together to make that sold out event an incredible experience. But didn't end there for featuring, our community in really interesting settings. We celebrated another year of inducting folks into our Entrepreneurs Hall of Fame for the Carolinas, inducting Betsy Hauser as an innovator of distinction, but then Jennifer Appleby and Lewis Foreman as new members of the Entrepreneurs Hall of Fame. I'm hoping everyone caught the incredible recognition of our faculty member, Ada Limon, as she became a MacArthur Scholar, which is an amazing achievement as she continues in her national role. We were really excited to welcome Victoria Smalls in the prior honors lecture, who's a public historian and cultural preservationist in the Gullah Geechee cultural heritage community. And then it was wonderful to recognize our corporate partner of Ally and Lowe's, who together have made over $4.5 million of investments in Queens through the Charlotte Talent Initiative, and allowed us to launch a really exciting cohort-based enrollment program that is going incredibly well. We have a lot of things going on and coming up with Roseanne Cash joining us on December 8th. I think we have Chris Isaac performing here on November 9th. And we've had also recent speakers in Di Murray and Steve Clifford in our Leaders in Action series. It's been a busy month for me, and I thought that for folks that didn't know, I had the good fortune of being out of the country for a couple weeks with a group of Charlotteans heading up to Finland and Denmark, spent some time in Helsinki, as the sign accurately points out. And the point of the trip was to appreciate, to learn more about those cities and those countries' approach towards wellness, and really trying to unpack why they score so well on indicators of wellness and education and happiness. And are there things that public, private, and foundational leaders can bring back to Charlotte as some test initiatives to think about how we can have similar results? One of the highlights of the trip was seeing a number of incredible brand new and modern libraries. This is the Odi Library in Helsinki, which was designed to be like a cloud. It's a 3-story structure that I think has, candidly, a lot of similarities to the things that we aspire to in our new library concept. And one of the things that I kept hearing in Helsinki was about the incredible diversity that was growing in that city. And I kept saying, well, where is it? Where is it? You know, in my days there. And finally, when we got to the library, we saw it, right? Because it confirmed for me the importance of libraries as truly being the central component of cultural and social life in Helsinki, as it is oftentimes when you have a great library here in the United States. Just some other views of that space, just, you know, incredible gathering spots, some indoor-outdoor space, just a lot of opportunity to be awed by the creativity of those spaces. And then seeing the great new library in Copenhagen, which is that big glass structure there, which is adjacent to their very, very historic library that dates back to the 1890s, the red brick building there, and how those two things situate and complement each other right on the Copenhagen harbor there. So a lot of inspiration. One of the things that, many things were going on here while I was away, but nothing more devastating and important than the incredible tragedies that unfolded and started unfolding in the weekend of October 7th and continue to in Israel. And we tried to communicate as quickly as we could to point folks to resources. An incredibly traumatic experience for members of our community. And, you know, we highlighted this information with our trustees because if you're paying attention to higher ed, this is becoming a topic that is causing incredible fissures in communities, between leadership and boards, between donors and leaders, between students and faculty across the country. And we were very, very proud of the ways that our community came together to support each other, to create safe spaces for folks to express their feelings, their concerns, their hurt, their injury, and to find support with each other. And I just want to thank the members of our religious studies communities for coming together with the remarkable and powerful and important statement that they released. I thought it was just an incredibly thoughtful piece of writing that I wish we would see more of in the broader community. I wish perhaps there was a way for us to shear that further, but we want to keep our members. First thing that we are beholden to is the safety of our community. And so I hope that we will continue to lead in that way as we deal with an incredibly complex world with incredibly troubling and disastrous times surrounding us. Lots of topics in addition to that one were discussed at the fall board meeting. It was wonderful to have a panel to start talking about artificial intelligence from a more societal approach, as well as what it means for higher education. Our Vice President for Planning and Strategy, Rich Majerus, coordinated and emceed a panel between our very own Kevin Gannon. I think Kevin's here somewhere. Woo. And the Chief Information Officer for Ally Financial. And this was a riveting conversation. And if you ever, I got to tell you, please make sure whoever cares about me never put me on a panel with Kevin Gannon. Okay, because he's so gosh darn good, man. Holy cow. But it was really, really eye-opening for our community to hear some of the ethical implications of what's going on in AI, some of the kind of boundary-breaking work that Satish and his team are doing out there, and both the optimism of the future and the grave concerns that AI might bring to communities like Queens and our world. We talked also a lot about the national higher education landscape. One of the things that's true about our board these days is that we have better than a third of our board members being new. So, we took this as an opportunity to orient them. And a lot of our trustees are really impressive C-suite leaders, but they don't have a lot of higher education experience. So we thought it was appropriate to smother them, right, in the reality of how we sometimes are swimming upstream in a battle for what people in our surrounding community, especially across the nation, are thinking about higher education. And I find it incredibly concerning and disturbing the ways that Americans are kind of falling backwards, not really appreciating the very, very important added value and return on investment that we generate for society. And familiarizing our trustees with data, showing that over the past 8 years, you see this incredible erosion of confidence in American higher education. Where back in 2015, the majority of surveyed folks from a Gallup survey would have concluded that they had a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in American higher education. In 2023, there's now, in 8 years, a majority of folks that either have very little or only some confidence in American higher education. And then to tease that out a little bit, based on some of the identifiers of where that erosion is happening, it seems to be, unfortunately, happening most around folks that are older. It seems to be happening most around folks that are women. And then the incredible change in trajectory of confidence of folks who identify as Republican. So not that the board can do anything about it, but I think it's important to understand the atmosphere that we function in. We talked about some of the things that higher ed's been talking about for a long time, just the demographic shifts in our country and the fact that in 2025, right, that's like a year and a couple months away, we will peak at the volume of American high school graduates. Will likely, over the next 100 years, never be as high. And the reason for that is that we have this incredible shift in birth rate. Back in 2020 at our retreat, we had the incredible demographer from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, James Johnson, join us. And one of the most brilliant things that he said, among a host of brilliant things, is that if you weren't born 18 years ago, you're not going to show up to college 18 years later. And we are just seeing an incredible decline in birth rates, almost a decrease of 23% nationally, 20%, almost 21% in North Carolina, and the projections aren't looking rosy, right? So it's not like things are bouncing back. The pandemic didn't help. The economy's not helping. A lot of the gloom and doom that folks are feeling is also not helping. So what does that mean for our work is we're trying to grow, right? We're not just trying to compete, we're trying to grow. And as I look at Trish Priest saying, yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you, who leads our undergraduate enrollment program. And then just the financial pressures that are highlighted by the folks that look at the finances and see this incredible bifurcation of haves and have-nots in American higher education. We're seeing a small group of land-grant institutions and elite private institutions just sucking up quite a bit of the enrollment and resources and philanthropy as other institutions, right, are struggling. And I would describe Queens, right, as not yet in that group, right? That's where we're fighting to be, is in a place that has the luxury to invest in itself and to grow by being attractive, right, for an increasing number of students, both undergraduate and graduate, and a destination for more resources. And, the drumbeat of higher ed, either closures or mergers, and things of that activity continues. But it's a little bit different here in Charlotte, which one, I think gives us hope. The population trends in Charlotte are growing. The resource trends are growing. And for whatever reason, Charlotte was kind of set up with a pretty modest ecosystem of higher ed institutions, right? It's this kind of one of every food group ecosystem. And hence, there are gaps in our market. There's excess demand for higher education that the current institutions aren't fully meeting. And so you're seeing folks like Wake Forest come into our market in really strong and powerful ways, right? It is not just a medical school. I know everyone is excited about Charlotte getting its first medical school as Atrium partners with Wake Forest to bring the medical school down here, which is important for our community. But that is kind of the tip of the spear. There's a lot of other stuff coming in behind it. And when you think about what the Keenan Flagler MBA school from Chapel Hill has done, and already seeing great returns on the start of their MBA program in the city. This is both exciting for Charlotte, but a threat to the homegrown institutions like Queens. I had a nice visit with Dr. Connie Book, who I think was coming to be cordial, to say, hey, by the way, we're going to open a law program here in Charlotte. Of course, the Axios and the Charlotte Ledger beat her to the punch of letting me know about that. And, our conversation was very much about a law program. But, I don't know about you, but when I look at that brand there, I actually don't see anything about law in it. I see Elon University, Charlotte, right? So there are incredible opportunities in Charlotte for higher education. The question is who is going to step up and meet those needs? You see, Northeastern will be in a brand new building. Johnson & Wales has a new campus president that we know well, and he has some foresight into maybe they should grow a nursing program, and we're seeing that start to manifest, and of course, lots of growth up the road at UNC Charlotte, as they've had incredible success at truly pushing themselves to be a stronger research institution and a larger destination for undergraduate studies. And then a revitalization of Johnson C. Smith. Had the pleasure of welcoming Dr. Valerie Kinloch last week at the Foundation for the Carolinas as she joins her alma mater to help right the ship there and leverage the incredible resources that they achieved through the Charlotte Racial Justice Initiative that was led by the mayor. So all of this was, I think, important context for our work, but also very important context for new trustees and their work. And those new trustees weren't there when we drafted and adopted some of the ideas in the strategic framework. So it's also an opportunity as we think of this moment where we've done a lot, but to ask ourselves again, are we doing the right things to compete? Are we doing enough? Should we have different ideas? This is a really important moment as we do some work as the next part of strategic development will be towards creating a comprehensive campaign to fuel our efforts over the next decade. And so do we have the right portfolio of things to invest in? So we ask that of our trustees, but we will also ask that of our community, as this is a good moment for us to check in with each other on those topics. There is some continued good news. I know we celebrated having a record-breaking first-year class that joined us this fall. Our vice president for strategic enrollment and communications is in Houston as we speak, visiting schools and talking with school leadership down there. Houston, as you know, is an incredibly growing city that could be some parallels for why students would consider coming to Charlotte. It's warm enough for them to consider, right? Folks in Houston don't like the cold. But in addition to that effort and many other efforts, we're starting to see another year of growth developing. Adrian shared some data, and the most important data I would say are in those two lowest and middle sections. It's exciting to report that year over year on the same date, we are up by almost 20% in applications. That was last year on the same date, we were up by 44% the year before. And the quality of those applications and the volume of those applications that are complete is up by 40%. So we're starting to get a lot more interest earlier, and we're able to take action on those applicants earlier in the process. I don't think we've released a large amount of admissions invitations, but it's my understanding that we are in the position to admit almost twice as many students as of this date versus last year. So things are moving in really, really healthy directions. Important to also thank the leadership of our community that are doing the very, very, very hard work of unpacking and transitioning away from our online program management partner in Wiley. And if you're new to Queens, we used to have this big OPM partnership for online programs that went on for a number of years. We determined that wasn't in our best interest, and so we've given notice that we will do that work on our own, and that there's more opportunity for us to invest in ourselves versus a revenue share partnership. But that entails a lot of work, so I want to thank everyone in the graduate school, everyone that's in graduate school recruitment. You are doing important work for the whole entire community. This has to be an area where we experience significant growth, because that's the market in Charlotte that is the fastest growing. And it appears that we are on track to meet our spring 2024 enrollment goals. I know I just threw a lot at you, but I want to keep us on time so we can have different announcements. And at the moment, I think we're going to invite Matt Packey to join us to give a little bit of an update on budget and maybe something on retention. Matt, thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Ready to stare at some numbers. I know that's highlight of your day, right? Before I go into the budget, I just want to mention we do 2 budgets a year here. Back in May, we presented a preliminary budget, had a deficit of about $3.4 million. That was a planned deficit. We're intentionally investing in ourselves, as President Lugo mentioned. working on all the strategic initiatives. Costs us a little bit of money now so we can grow into the future. And we do a final budget after we know our enrollment, we know our discount rate, we know how many people are here in the residence halls. We also plan for raises, raise pools, and in this case, keeping our benefit costs to flat. So what I'm about to show you is the budget, and I can't see that screen down there at all, so I may have to turn a little bit here. But this is our final budget on the right-hand side, and I'm comparing it to the year that we just finished. The year that we just finished, we had planned a budget of about $6 million loss. You can see at the very bottom, we had about a $1 million loss. That's because we had roughly $5 million of employee retention credits through the COVID relief funds that the federal government put out. So we were right on budget for last year. We've improved our outlook by about $3 million for the year that we're currently in. You can see at the very top line, $50 million of comprehensive undergrad. So that's our traditional undergraduate students paying us the full-time rate. That is up about $7 million over where we were last year. So that's purely enrollment driven. As you go down the page, you see $4 million for per credit undergrads, about $6 million for graduate, and 3.3 for our student fees. Importantly, student aid was up about $36.2 million. So that's an increase over last year. That is reflecting really the freshman class that we just brought in, accelerated BSN students, and a little bit higher on graduate students as well. So our net tuition revenue is about $27.5 million. As we look down the page, room and board, you'll see we budgeted at 13.2. That's a healthy increase over the 10 million we had last year. So we have more people in beds, more people buying the meal plans. That reflects both the high freshman class coming in as well as students that we're retaining year over year, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Continuing down the page, we'll go to the expense side. Salaries and benefits you see increased to 41.6 million. I see Bruce pointing out something. Did I make a mistake, Bruce? Is that? 41.6 million for salaries and benefits. Operating expenses at $27 million. That is a decrease year over year as we're pulling out of some of the non-recurring costs we had in the past. And then our debt service is increasing as we borrowed some money to pay for the new roofing that we've done over the last summer, as well as the hard costs for getting off the steam plant. And by the way, that steam plant will be going away in December, January timeframe. So we'll have some space back there in the back of campus. So again, the bottom line is a loss of 3.4 million. That is intentional, that is planned, and we fund that really through our credit line. I want to jump now to retention trends. This graph really shows a nice improvement the last couple of years from 69% back in the 2019 class to almost 76% for the fall of 22 cohort that came back this fall. That increase really helps our bottom line. I know I just showed you a loss, but as we keep repeating that, as we keep growing that number, that is really where we get the flywheel momentum of actively growing our surplus. And that retention rate is made up of several different components. We've highlighted a few of them here that are worthy of note. You'll see students of color at almost 76%, outpacing our white students at 74%. Both of those numbers are great, but a little bit unusual for a school of our size to be showing that nice improvement. Also, near the bottom of the page, our first gen students at 80% retention rate is incredible, 6 points above our non-first gen students. So congratulations to everybody who's working hard to retain our students, and really it's all of our jobs to retain students. So really appreciate all those efforts, both on the recruiting new freshman class side and retaining the students so we can get them through to graduation. Frankly, it helps pay the bills. So thank you.
So good morning, I'm Maria in Student Life, and really excited to talk about some of the initiatives that we've had going on since we were here in this room August 24th for our campus update. Before our reception to start the new year, we had actually already begun welcoming this amazing new class of over 400 students. This picture was taken just after the Sed Ministrari program, which took place also in this theater, where we have them sign the honor code and officially be welcomed into the Queen's University community. They got their class year t-shirts. We hustled them out and got that photo right before the thunderstorms rolled in on August 27th. So we got the picture in, and we're in the process of our royal kickoff. So a task force the previous fall had recommended that we bring back students a little bit earlier in the year, so that early in the, before the classes started, so that they had an opportunity to get to know one another and to get to know our campus. And so we called it the Royal Kickoff, and it was coordinated through student engagement, but I have to say, as with retention, a complete campus effort. I'm just so thankful for all of our partners who joined in. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see Move In, so special thanks to our partners at Chartwells and SSC and everyone who helped us get the campus looking good and for that process to roll out really seamlessly. In the lower left is the Sed Ministrari program. That's students signing our honor code before they went out to have their class picture taken. And then on the right, our athletics team just killed it with the silent disco. Actually took place on the evening of August 24th, where students listened to the music on headphones. The colors of their headphones indicate what channel they're listening to, and then dance in silence. And apparently the existing expertise on the senior leadership team is Rich Majerus, who has apparently participated in more silent discos than any of the rest of us. So many thanks to everyone who helped make that program successful. Oh, including you all, faculty and staff who may have participated in the Friday night dinner in the dining hall to welcome our first year students. Thanks for all that everyone in this room did to help make that event go well too. We just wrapped up Family Weekend, October 20th to the 22nd. We had over 80 families come and sign in for the weekend. We had a successful check-in. The chapel breakfast went really well on Saturday morning, as well as Desayuno, which has grown from about probably 15 to 20 people my first year here in 2019 to over 60 people, nearly 70. And we had some faculty join us as well. And then on the far right, our friends in DICE, Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement, sponsored the African Drum Circle, which was also really well received by our families. So a really fun weekend, lots of beautiful weather, and great opportunities to connect with one another. Since we've been back here on campus, we've been really focusing on the opportunity for students to connect with one another. In the upper left-hand corner, I'll call our partners in the library who hosted a Shelfie Fest during Royal Kickoff and created putt-putt golf opportunities in the stacks with books. It was amazing. The students absolutely loved it. And right next to that is s'mores. We learned that there were a shocking number of our first year students who didn't know what a s'more was. And so we were so thrilled to show them and have them join us in that tradition around the campfire. Below is Jenga by Diana. And then we had our Clock Tower of Terror getting ready for Halloween this week, as well as swearing in a new SGA executive committee that's really excited to get started and keep things interesting on campus. We had our campus union board sponsoring the Fall Fest. It was a little bit spoiled by rain, but they were really resilient and very creative and pivoted to keep the evening successful and folks to be engaged. And then in the lower right is the Lead X program that we ran for our first year, a leadership program for our first year students, and had some of that program taking place off campus up at Davidson. Thank you. I was going to say Dickinson, but that's where my son went to school, so that's not it. I knew that wasn't it. Thank you. And then last Thursday, we had our second annual Domestic Awareness Violence Month Empowerment Fair. We had over 200 participants and 30 campus and community organizations. We had folks there talking about, what creates a healthy relationship, trying to get upstream and keep us all well and healthy. Had a lot of campus partners talking about various resources in the community and helping students to figure out where those resources exist and, again, how to stay healthy and safe. Then another one of my campus fall favorites, Booze and Booze, by our residence life and housing staff, and it's taking a look at alcohol consumption and how to stay safe. And it was also sponsored by another fabulous campus partner, Campus Police. They students had the opportunity to put on goggles that imitate what it feels like to be under the influence of alcohol, also known as drug goggles, and taken an obstacle course with the golf carts, so understanding how impaired you are when you consume alcohol. We had some mocktails. We also had some opportunities for them to pour drinks and to understand a little bit more about what an actual drink size looks like. And we also welcomed the Alcohol Beverage Control Organization to campus to talk about fake IDs, what they look like, and the consequences for using them. So another beautiful weather, lots of engagement, folks walking through and learning a little bit as they did. Finally, just wanted to talk about some upcoming campus events as another piece of our Charlotte experience, which kicked off at the Charlotte FC game during the Royal Kickoff. We're going to take students to a corn maze this Saturday, November 4th, one of the things they talked about wanting to do here in Charlotte in this season. We've got our time change party coming up to celebrate our falling back and changing the time on Sunday, November 5th. We've got one of my all-time favorites, a really unique and amazing opportunity at Queens, which is Friendsgiving. It's coordinated again through DICE, but it's where all our student organizations come together to celebrate and give thanks together before they leave for the holiday. But they do so with all of their traditional culture, food, music, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And the food is outstanding. So one of my absolute favorite things that we do here at Queens coming up on November 8th. We've got the Other Zoe world premiere coming up here at Queens. There's a film that was shot on our campus. We're super excited to see some familiar background with the movie and the story coming up on November 9th, and we'll have lots of fun activities for our students as we work our way up to the premiere. We've got our Boar's Head Festival. It's a campus tradition, and we're going to continue with that, a nice meal and a funny story. We did ditch the costumes for anyone who's wondering, but that's okay. The students are still having a really great experience on Friday, November 17th. Casino night, another campus tradition coming up for our students on Friday, December 1st. And then these last two, probably more relevant to us as faculty and staff, got the Moravian Love Feast. Everyone welcome to join and participate that on Sunday, December 3rd in Belk Chapel. Looking forward to that opportunity. It always engages a wide breadth of folks from our campus community, and it's just a really lovely event, as well as exam break breakfast. So if you're ready to serve some pancakes and celebrate the end of the semester as our students head into finals, that'll take place on Friday, December 8th. Just want to shout out a wonderful student life team that's growing and welcoming lots of new people. So if you haven't been on the second floor of Morrison Hall, please come up and say hello. And also to all our campus partners. We've been coordinating a lot of events, but it's taken an entire campus community to pull them off. And so I'm just deeply grateful and thankful that we work in the kind of community that we do, and we can count on the partnerships and engagement of all of you to help us with all of this work. So looking forward to the end of the semester and lots of fun things coming up. Okay.
Thank you so much, Maria, and thank you, Matt, for the great updates. Really interesting stuff happening in retention. I hope you all paid attention to that slide, and I think it bodes well for future years. I also wanted to double back to our fall Board of Trustee meetings and thank Amy Knob and Sean Bowers for representing faculty at those meetings. And I thought that for the first time since I've been here, we had an opportunity for there to be an update from faculty during the meeting. And Amy did a really incredible job, as expected, with talking about how things are going from a faculty perspective and having trustees hear about that. I think we are at the point of getting some announcements. Laura, are you out there? I think if you want to head over to that mic over there, it'd be great if you would tell us what's going on with our open enrollment for benefits.
It's a very exciting day for human resources.
Yes, it is.
Human resources everywhere are so excited when their open enrollment starts, and ours starts today. So open enrollment begins today. It will run through November the 10th. What you need to know, this is a passive enrollment. That means if you don't want to change anything with your benefits, you don't have to go in and change anything, with the exception of if you have a flexible spending account, you still need to go in, and if you want to have that again, you need to go in and re-elect it. So what you'll do is just go to your regular ADP account. It'll come up with this glorious, I hope it looks glorious, I haven't seen it yet, but it will say like, open enrollment is here, get started. Very easy to do. You can save your progress as you're going through open enrollment, come back to it. You have that whole period through the 10th to get that done. So very, very exciting. Also, this week, tomorrow, we're going to have our first webinar, and our benefits vendors are going to be there to answer questions and go through all that information. So the first one is tomorrow, Tuesday, from 10 to 11. Second one is Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. We're trying to kind of spread them out based on schedules. And then the last one is on Thursday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And those are virtual.
Great. Laura, are more open enrollment stuff, or are you going on to your next topic?
I mean, I can talk about open enrollment.
I know.
all
It's
day
exciting
long.
stuff. It's definitely
It is
important
so
stuff.
exciting, but I won't bore you. So,
Yeah.
but something even more exciting, President Lugo, is on the next page. It is the Workplace Climate Survey. And as you know, we've been putting it out there hardcore in Q News for you to get in there and participate in the survey, anonymous survey, giving us your feedback on questions anywhere from just your quality of life on campus to initiatives that you want to see to feelings about compensation, lots of important stuff. That survey will close at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, coming up Monday, November the 6th. As we said, it only takes about 15 or 20 minutes to complete. And this year, what are we having this year for the winners? Please know what this is. Pretzels. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So much excitement went into creating a pretzel bar. So in case you are not as excited or knowledgeable about this as I am, I'm going to explain. So on the faculty side, the school that has the highest percentage completion rate, faculty school, will be invited to a pretzel buffet bar after the survey closes. And the department, the same, the department that has the highest completion rate will also be invited to that pretzel party. And I'm not talking hard pretzels. I'm talking like the big, warm, soft pretzels and stuff you can put on them. It's really big. So, and I can't see that up there, but I've got it right here. I will say university advancement. Wow. You're kind of wow. All I have to say is wow. But student life and engagement, big wow. Yep. Blair College of Health, in terms of our schools, Blair College of Health and Presbyterian School of Nursing, yes, you are at 24%, but the College of Arts and Sciences is just right behind you at 21%. So if you haven't finished the survey and you're on one of those teams and you're anxious to get your warm pretzel, please encourage your colleagues to get in there and click and go. That's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Laura. So everyone wants the pretzels, but the data is really important for us if we're going to keep being, and be even a stronger community. Getting this feedback is critically important. So thank you so much, Laura, for those two updates. There are two mics on either side of the auditorium. So if y'all would make your way to the mics for, I will stall a little bit. The other Zoe, you should know, was designed to be a Netflix movie at first, but apparently has tested so well, it's actually going to be a broad release. And by the way, the actors are actually attending Queen's University of Charlotte. They actually use our name in addition to using our campus. So not bad, right? Not bad for next week.
Yeah.
All right, that was stall number one. Are we ready with an up? Justin.
This is very low. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. If the music professors are up here, it must be because we're shamelessly plugging our events, and we are shamelessly plugging our events. But this week, we're really excited about a 4-night, 4-event series starting Thursday, going Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all celebrating African-American contributions to the arts. And because we're music faculty, we're going to go in stereo today, right, Jennifer?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. We're two very dramatic people, as you can tell. Everything's a theater. So hopefully you've seen these posters maybe around campus, but Jennifer and I have been working on this project celebrating the life and work of Margaret Bonds, an amazing and sadly completely forgotten figure in American music since her death in 1978. But we are having a 3-night event celebrating her work. And before that, though, this 3-night series that begins on Thursday kicks off with this series is part of a general campus-wide event, semester-long event called I Too Sing America, taking the words of Langston Hughes, celebrating Black Americans in the arts. And so Michael Cobre is going to start our week of celebration on Wednesday night at 7:30 with a fascinating talk called We Wear the Mask, African American Representation in Comic Books. And so he's going to talk about Black Panther and the new Captain America and Blackness in comic books, which should be a really interesting way. That's at 7:30 Thursday night downstairs in Green Hood.
And then on Friday, we start our 3-day symposium to Margaret Bonds. So in Green Hood, Friday night, November 3rd at 7:30, we have the expert on Margaret Bonds, Dr. John Michael Cooper, coming from Southwestern University to talk to us about her life and music. Dr. Cooper is the author of the first biography of Margaret Bonds that will be coming out in the next year. He is also responsible for a lot of her music that is being published that has not been published at all. He's been in constant contact with her family, so we're really grateful to have him here Friday night to talk about her life and music at 7:30. On Saturday, we'll celebrate her songs and spirituals in Queens Hall Parlors at 7:30. Dr. Cooper will give a pre-concert lecture to talk about her songs and spirituals, and then students, faculty, and alum will sing her songs and spirituals in coordination with visuals that will be created by Melissa Gomez's digital topography class. So students in digital topography and students in music have gotten together to discuss the meaning of the poetry, and we will see the visual representations behind the singers during the performance. So an old school art song salon in a modern way. And we have one more event on Sunday.
And the series comes to a close Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock across campus in Belk Chapel, where the choirs will present some of Miss Bonds' choral music, focusing on what I believe will be one of the great American masterpieces of choral music of the last century, her Credo, which is a setting of the text by W.E.B. Du Bois from 1906. This is a setting from 1967, near the end of her life. It is a marvelous, amazing, moving work, especially with all the strife and hostility in parts of the globe today and people not getting along because of their backgrounds and their ethnicities and their faiths. This is an incredibly powerful call for unity and an end to divisiveness. So we hope you'll join us for any or all of those. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. So on Wednesday, the 1st, our JBIP call for proposals for faculty opens for next academic year. So we are really excited. If you are interested in taking students abroad, please be on the lookout for those. Also this Wednesday on that opening day, the Pulliam Center is having a cafe session on what does it look like to create a good proposal, how do you pick faculty to go with you, all of those things. So join us, and I'd love to see where you're going to take our students.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Leah Brackett with Athletics and Campus Recreation. I just want to make a couple announcements of some exciting things that we have coming up. First of all, on Mondays and Wednesdays at noon, you can come to Levine Center and play open pickleball on Court A, which is the first court when you come in. Anybody in here interested in pickleball? Please join us. If you have never played pickleball, we have several people that are very good at teaching how to do it. So don't worry, we have all the equipment. We have the paddles and the balls and the nets. So come join us noon times on Mondays and Wednesdays. Also wanted to let you know that we now have a guest pass available. For anyone that wants to come use the facility with one of your friends or family members, you can stop at the front desk and purchase a guest pass for your friend or family member. That has to be done right at the front desk. There's a QR code that you can scan, and you will sign, your guest would sign a waiver at that time. And then something to be looking forward to and keeping your eye out in Q News is that with the benefits office, we are now going to be offering incentive points for those of you that come and use the fitness center. We're working on how to track that, but in the meantime, we'll have a sign-in list that we will ask you to sign in and put your ID number on the list, and then we will track how often you are coming to use the fitness center or group fitness or open swim. And if you have questions about that, please go ahead and email me at bracketl@queens.edu. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Hey, Daryl.
Good morning, Daryl White and Dice. So we will be kicking off Native American Heritage Month this Wednesday with the Native American Powwow by the Lumbee Tribe. That'll be in the Residence Quad from 4 to 6. So hope that you all can join us. Also next week is Veterans Day. So we're going to celebrate veterans throughout the week. Starting off with a Tuesday luncheon in the Dice Lounge. We actually have a new Veterans Lounge, which is located right next to the Dice Lounge, which used to be the Media Services Center. So we'll have an open house there starting at 11, lunch in the Dice Lounge starting at 11:30. So hope you can join us. Thanks.
Thank you, Daryl. Laura?
Thanks, Daryl. Hi, I'm Laura Kratt. I'm the Executive Director of the Gambrell Center. Welcome. I just wanted to follow up on the other Zoe. If you want to know, that's also an important partnership we're doing with student engagement, but also for the community and for campus as well. That is going to be free. It's on the 9th. If you want to get your tickets, we'll be doing digital tickets, and those will be available starting on Wednesday, if not tomorrow. We might have them early. So just you can please feel free to pass that along. We'll have that in Q News. Also, to just remind you that our next upcoming Spotlight Series event is going to be Roseanne Cash. She's doing a very limited tour. She's only doing 6 towns. This is the only show she's doing in North Carolina. And so we're expecting it to be a great event, and we hope that you can be there. And as faculty and staff of Queens, you get a 20% discount because we appreciate all you do. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you, Laura. So a lot of things going on. There's still time for maybe one more announcement. Anybody online, or is that even available? We had like almost 60 people online, so everyone's out enjoying the weather. Any more announcements? I purposely motored through those slides to leave space. Probably noticed I talked really fast. All right, well, we will give you back some time. Thank you so much for all that you do for Queens, and let's have a great continuation of the semester. We got a lot of good things going on. Thank you. Go Royals.